So another discussion recorded in this chapter, which is nothing to do with the Gemara or the Rambam, is from somebody called Rabbi Yehuda Hasid. Rabbi Yehuda Hasid was one of the Hasidim, one of the pious people who lived in Germany in the 12th century. And he wrote in his will various things which some people took on, some people didn't take on. They are not halachic in essence because they're not found in the Talmud, they're not found in the codes. But he wrote them, and some people brought them. And one of the very famous ones is the idea, and this is recorded here in this chapter, not in the Shulchan Aruch or in the Ramah, but in the Pitrei Tshuva, in the later authorities, the idea that a man shouldn't marry a woman whose father shares the same name as him. And similarly, a man shouldn't marry a woman who the woman shares the same name as the man's mother, i.e., if a person is called Reuven and he's marrying a girl called Leah, and your mother, Reuven's mother, is called Leah, he shouldn't marry her. And similarly, if Reuven is marrying a girl called Leah and Leah's father's name is Reuven, he shouldn't marry this girl because her father's name is the same name as yours, Reuven. Now, it's not entirely clear what the reason for this is. Great discussion. What was the reason for this? Many of the things Rabbi Yehuda Hasid wrote in his will are not things which are easy to comprehend, but this is what he wrote, and this is brought down, and some were concerned about this. In practice, we should know that certainly for Sfaradim, we were never particular about this, and even for the Ashkenazim, it's limited in many, many ways. Firstly, the Noda Yehuda Rabbi Heskel of Landau of Prague writes, you don't need to worry about it because this whole thing was only for his own descendants. It was a will which he wrote for his own children and his own descendants. If you know you're from Rabbi Yehuda Hasid, you know you trace your lineage back to him, fine, okay, so you be careful about this. But generally speaking, there is no source for this, and he can't come and make up a new thing which is binding upon everyone. For his own children and descendants, he can. That's number one. Another limitation we find in the authorities is that this is only where the names are doubled over, in the sense that let's say you're marrying a woman called Leah, whose father's name's Reuven, and your name is Reuven, but also you both share parents' names. So your father-in-law is called Reuven ben Hayim, and your name is called Reuven and your father's name is Hayim. Only when it's doubled over is there an issue. If it just happens to be that your name is Reuven and your father-in-law is Reuven, your wife's name is Leah and your mother's name is Leah, but their respective fathers are different, then there's nothing to worry about. That's a second limitation. A third limitation found in the Aharonim is that even if you do share the same name, you can add on one name. You can change the name, add on a name. So let's say my name's Reuven, my father-in-law's name is Reuven, so I can add on to my name Reuven Hayim, or add on, so then it's a different name. Moshe Feinstein and Avad Yosef both rule very leniently on this. And Moshe Feinstein actually writes, there's a concept in the Gemara called zugot, that you don't do things in pairs. Okay, that's a whole separate discussion, but it's a kind of a superstitious thing. And the Gemara itself says if you don't care about it, you don't need to worry about it. If you don't care about not doing things in pairs, you don't need to worry about it. And he says the same thing here as well. If the Hatan and Kala are worried about this, fine, they shouldn't do it. They shouldn't get married. But if you don't care about this and you're not of the superstitious tendency, you don't need to worry about it, and you can get married despite the fact that you share the same name as your father-in-law, despite the fact your fiance shares the same name as your mother-in-law. That's absolutely fine. You can get married. And similarly, Avad Yosef held the same as well, that it's absolutely fine. So there really is very little issue. People who are concerned about the superstitious issue behind this have various options which we've discussed: changing name, maybe it was only for his descendants, and so on and so forth. But in principle, this is not a Talmudic rule. It's something Rabbi Yehuda Hasid wrote, and one doesn't really need to be careful about it. One who has a tradition to be careful about it then needs to seek advice about in a situation where he's found a girl who shares the same name as one's mother and vice versa.